What's the difference between God and energy? I think that you're using that term wrong. So when we talk about subsequent would translate into what happens after that. And if you did mean it that way, then let's actually iron that out a little bit, okay? Let me help you out. When it comes to the identity of God, your belief system is that God is real and energy is not, but we have no definable scientific proof of God. Now, I'm not an atheist. I'm not saying that God doesn't exist. I'm trying to challenge your critical thinking, to know that because we can't substantiate God in some kind of mathematical device, we can substantiate it by emotion, we can substantiate it by existence, by sentient living form, from the blades of grass to the corvids that you might hear flying over my head to my dog. So we can validate it in that way. What is the creation of living material? And living material and non-living material all has energy frequency, meaning that we can scientifically validate it by measuring its electromagnetic field. If we believe that God intelligence is about the creation of all things sentient, then what about all the things that are non-sentient? And again, really try to back up just for a moment and say, but what is my belief system of God? And we all get to have an identity of what God is, because God is very subjective. What does that mean? That means personal. That means very personal to me as the subject. But to state that God comes before energy, well, you're speaking the same language, because God is energy. God is omnipresent, knowing energy. But the challenging part is our brains really struggle to identify anything outside of the one. My body is a one. Because when you talk about the intelligence of something that moves all moving organisms, then there is no such thing as a one. It doesn't exist. It moves an amalgam energy. Amalgam energy that helps us try to find coherence and understanding of all things in creative form. So technically, we're actually speaking the same language. You're just very offended by my language, because again, God would be energy. So God is not moving before energy, and energy is not subsequent to that. And to believe that the universe is not energy shows lack of critical thinking. That is a very myopic, small perspective that hasn't had a lot of development. And I challenge you, get development. It actually helps you to substantiate what you believe. And what a wonderful way to be. What a wonderful way to substantiate your religious practice.